Welcome back to Pastor Plek's podcast. I am your host, Pastor Plek, and joining me in studio is none other than my lovely and very sweet wife, Adrienne Plek. Adrienne, welcome back.
I need a new intro. Thank you.
And then also here from CG Victory, none other than Joey Kelly.
Glad to be here.
Joey, I've known you for about forever, like really since 2011, I think, when we kind of.
That was when we got married, so
yeah,
that was when our whole life exploded.
Yeah, well, and I remember that. Remember we had a hangout with Ben Meadows, Holland Gregg, all at your parents' house. Do you remember that? I think we were just barely. Remember, you came down. We were all talking about your future.
Yeah.
All of you were just graduating from A&M.
Yeah, you have an incredible memory.
You know, I just thought of that.
Well,
anyway,
he doesn't always, but occasionally there's a shining moment.
Which isn't normal for guys. I feel like the wives always remember everything.
everything.
What I remember is a mission trip in California.
Yes.
Prison ministry was involved.
Yes, you were on that with us, right?
Yeah, it was
And
awesome.
That's when we saw Graham Cowgill. Do you know Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was
Graham
a complete
and-
coincidence. Like, someone had hooked us up with like
An Airbnb.
It was somehow the place where he lived ended up being the home that was willing to like host us.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we didn't know that there was going to be this connection. And I think he saw Joey sitting outside of the house, and he was like, "Wait, what?" And then I walked. It was that was fun. That was a fun trip.
That was a fun trip.
Fun.
That was
prison
wild.
ministry. It's so great.
It was insane too.
Yeah.
Were you a part of that moving back and forth in the trunk? Do you remember we were trying to get all the guys back, and I had put I think I put Ben in the trunk.
Oh man, I can't remember that.
Yeah, I put Ben in the trunk of a Mustang.
I do. I remember that.
And we were like, "Is this safe?" It's like, listen,
No, it wasn't
we
safe.
need to get back.
For the gospel.
That's right. We do things for Jesus around here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Joey, since then you've become an IamSecond.com infamous person. And for more than just your story, give me real quick some of your athletic accolades of recent years.
Wow. Athletic accolades.
You like that?
Everyone lower your expectations.
Yeah, like this is amazing because you've done some pretty fun things.
Let's see. I played basketball in high school.
Yeah.
But recent years, let's see. I was on a game show called Spartan Race Team Challenge.
Yeah. And you like separated your shoulder in the event.
Yeah. And on the second heat, I separated my shoulder, like completely came out and came in and out about 5-6 times during the race, but we still won that heat.
That was what's up.
We pushed through, went off of adrenaline, and we ended up getting second place in the whole game show tournament. This close to the top, the winners got $250,000.
Oh.
And guess what second place gets?
What?
Nothing.
Zero.
Nothing. So
Zero. That's
went
rough.
home with nothing. We think we could have won if I didn't hurt my shoulder because I had to sit out the very last.
Yeah, I remember that.
heat.
And you brought in, I don't want to say some scrub, but you had to bring in somebody else
Yeah,
to
pretty
finish
much.
for you.
Pretty much. The show has like substitutes ready to go.
Yeah.
When injuries happen. So it was a bummer.
What a
Oh,
wow.
I do. I forgot that that you guys had to bring in a sub.
I remember going down for the watch
and you
party
had
in
to
the
get
domain. That was super
surgery.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Had to get major surgery on my shoulder. So
Yeah.
still worth it. Still super fun. My family just tries out for game shows.
Yeah,
It's
well, you guys
really
did
our
the
main
Family
deal.
Feud shortly after that, I thought.
Yeah, we've been on 3 episodes of Family Feud, 3 episodes of Spartan Race. My sister was on 3 episodes, whatever, of American Gladiator.
Yep,
That's
yep.
how the whole CG thing started.
Yeah.
Some people didn't catch that Camp Gladiators because she won American Gladiators.
Which is really funny because it's such a dated name.
Yeah.
And so now like Camp Gladiator stands alone without American Gladiator, but you're still stuck with the Gladiator thing, which is actually kind of works for you.
Yeah. Or really, it's kind of rebranded to CG. Like CG Fitness. No one calls it Camp Gladiator.
Right.
You know, it almost sounds a little cheesy.
Yeah, it
if I
totally
can
does,
say
but
that.
that's fine. And now it's CG. It's
Yeah,
way cooler. It's
CG.
like community group.
There you go. Yes. So many churches call it community group. CG.
Yes, and it's just what you're
Okay,
CG.
so
That's true.
your story is pretty powerful that you can go see on I Am Second, but give us like the 2-minute version, testimony story.
Yeah, 2 minutes. I'll do my best.
Yeah,
I
it's pretty
might
wild.
stand
So
into
I don't know if you
4.
actually can do that. Might get 4.
We'll see. Oh man, a big part of my story centers around a traumatic event when I was in 6th grade, so 12 years old. I grew up kind of in the church, or a little bit of background, totally missed the gospel somehow, and kind of just went to church as like a favor to make my mom happy and to get off my back.
Yeah.
You know?
Your mom's a lawyer, so that's good. You got to get her off your back.
Totally. I do think I was saved at a young age, around 7 years old.
Sure.
My sister went to Camp Travis.
Your oldest sister.
Yeah, oldest sister Amanda came back. She came back from that with the gospel on the edge of her tongue. Shared the gospel with me, and I remember it clicking. It's what about Jesus did for me. Nothing I can do to earn it.
Right.
And feel like I accepted that at a young age. But yeah, fast forward, 12 years old, still wasn't living for the Lord or didn't know what that looked like.
I mean, you're in sixth grade. How bad can it be, right? I mean,
who knows?
Running drugs on the side of middle school.
Not so much. But so the kind of crazy part of my story is I'm spending in the night at my cousin's house. He's my best friend, Mikey. His parents are in the process of getting a divorce. So I kicked him. My aunt had kicked her husband out of the house. And I'm about to drop a bomb on people is what I always say. This is maybe not for all viewers or audiences or whatever, quasi-graphic stuff here. But the night I happened to be spending the night, a pretty common occurrence, he breaks into the house, and I'll give you the short version. He murders his wife in his sleep. My cousin wakes me up, and I can hear my aunt screaming for help. I'll actually never forget, Mikey, Joey, help, please, anyone, God, help, over and over and over again. And Mikey grabs me. I'm like, Mikey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? He's just saying, come help, come help, come help. And he slips away from me, my cousin Mikey, and his dad comes out of the master bedroom.
And this is like the middle of the night.
Middle of the night, maybe 3 a.m. And he's coming out of the bedroom. He has a butcher knife and blood all over him. And he looks at me, and he looks at Mikey. This is the graphic part for sensitive viewers. And he proceeds to tackle his 9-year-old son and stabs him in the chest and slits his throat multiple times in front of me. And I swear I wanted to help. I think I was in shock, couldn't move.
Right.
And he just kind of slowly gets up off of Mikey, walks over to me, slams me against the wall. And I have this moment like, all right, this is how I die. Right. Even like maybe spoke to God in that moment, like, oh man, I just hope it's quick. Yeah. Like, God, make it quick. And then he tries to stab me in the chest, and my arm is just up like this, right in front of my chest. If you're listening on audio, I haven't been on a podcast where they do the video too. And he stabs me through my arm, and the tip of the blade just scratches my chest. I've completely given up on my life. I'm a chubby little 12-year-old guy, and this is a 6'2", big strong guy. Yeah. And he's just trying to stab me multiple times in the chest really quick. I gave up on my life, and this is like the supernatural part for me. This is a big part of my faith, why I believe in miracles even. I just like open my eyes, and I expect to see my uncle on me with a knife in me, but I'm removed from the situation, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet. I remember vividly a thought, how did I get over here? Right. I can't explain. I understand, and I feel crazy when I say this story, but it's just what happened. It's as if like God like just got him off me and got me out of the way just enough. Right. I remember looking down at my arm. We're way over 2 minutes, but I'll keep rolling if that's cool. Yep. I look down at my arm. My muscle is literally falling out of my arm. I can like see the striations on my muscle. I put it back in. I'm like, oh man, better squeeze this and hold it over my heart. I remember this much. And yeah, to try to wrap it up, I run downstairs, and it's kind of straight out of a horror movie. He chases me around the house. Couldn't tell you if it was a few minutes or 30 minutes. I remember thinking like, man, I'm gonna bleed out soon probably. And I hear him go back upstairs. I exit the house. I make a break for it. I knew the neighbors ring the doorbell 50 times at 3 a.m., whatever. They come out, Joey, is that you? And I'm like, John went crazy. He killed Phyllis and Mikey. A few minutes later, they call 911. A few minutes later, the house goes up in flames. The house like explodes. And he accidentally lit himself on fire. But
he survived, right?
He survived. He's in Huntsville prison. Yeah, he accidentally burned some of himself, and yeah, that's my like epic tragic moment for me. Yeah.
And then so like when you like, because that moment, I mean, like obviously you were just traumatized from that. When did you like make a decision to follow Jesus all in? Was it that point, or was it later in college?
Oh yeah, good question. So yeah, I think I was saved at a young age, I would say. I remember after that I was so mad at God. I I remember going out into my backyard and just I would cuss God out. I couldn't understand how evil could win in such a big way, like a father murdering a wife and a son, trying to kill me. I felt like a piece of trash.
Yeah.
I felt like
why a piece of trash right there?
Because I just felt like God doesn't care about me if he's going to let me go through this.
Right.
Like how could this happen? Yeah. How could I witness my best friend and cousin be murdered?
Yeah.
And how could I almost die? And it's like why didn't God protect this or like stop this situation from happening?
Yeah.
Even though I do feel like he intervened for me.
Right.
So it's like I'm like holding that in one hand, like, God, you saved my life.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. But like, why didn't you save Phyllis and Mikey's life?
Right.
Why did you let this happen? So I was very, very mad, very upset with God. Random tidbit, I don't know. I used to like country music in 5th grade.
Yeah.
I came out in 6th grade and I was all Eminem.
Yeah.
And just like, like I don't know, like I
8 Mile, baby.
identify with like hip hop now and went through a whole phase.
Right.
But yeah, just it was like a dark time in my life for sure. Was very angry and bitter pretty much throughout high school. Yeah, a little bit more on that. I was also kind of balancing that with I come from this amazing family.
Right.
Baby of 5.
But no one taught you how to tie your shoes like that.
Yes, there was that. That's another story. And for 3rd grade, but they like Adrienne went to school with my brother Daniel, and just like everyone's just like epic and awesome and like loves
Dr.
the
Daniel.
Lord. So it's like I have this really high standard to live up to, and that was actually a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like gave up at some point, and it's like, man, if anyone has the right to go crazy, it's me. So I was acting a fool in high school and definitely chasing anything and everything but God.
Right.
And unfortunately doing the hypocritical thing where I was like probably like the vice president of FCA, which is just the worst looking back on it, being such a hypocrite. But yeah, it turned around in college.
A&M, you went to A&M. And what was it at A&M that really moved you?
Man, it's the promised land.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like, if there's one place we want to send our kids.
I want our kids to go there so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to be a little bit low key about it, so I don't
like
turn them off already. Yeah.
I say go for it. Be high key about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm half kidding, but no, great place, great people. I'm like, all right, I should probably go to church, kind of deal. Now it's my own decision to like go, and I gotta drive myself there. My parents not gonna bug me about it later. And I just like broke one Sunday. Sure enough, Amazing Grace is like the worship song. And I was like totally living for myself, chasing anything and everything but God. Partying, whatever, chasing relationships, and I just felt super broken and empty. None of it was fulfilling what I was doing, and I was like, I've struggled all these years with various things, from PTSD, survivor's guilt, probably depression here and there. I never like processed any of the grief right. And they actually tell you like it's going to hit you again when you're 18 and probably again when you're 24, 25.
Right.
And almost like clockwork. It did those things when you have trauma as a kid. So it hit me like a ton of bricks. I tell people I wept. You know, it says Jesus wept. If you haven't wept before, it's wild. It's like actually uncontrollable for hours. And it's like, you don't realize your body can produce that many tears. And just, I was super broken. I was a total mess. And it's like, man, I need help. I need help. I never process this grief. I can't do this on my own. So I was like, I got to go see a counselor, and it's got to be my decision this time. Let's get a faith-based counselor.
And that was here in Austin?
That was in College Station.
Oh, that was College Station. Yeah.
So this was in college. This was kind of on
your journey.
own.
Got it.
Totally. So went and saw a Christian counselor. That was super helpful to process some grief, and some things needed to get unpacked for sure. And got a community of guys who loved the Lord and really built me up and made like a huge total 180. Started living for the Lord, experienced way more joy, happiness, satisfaction, all the things, like legit good friendships that were uplifting, and really haven't like looked back since.
Man, that's powerful. So you leave College Station loving Jesus, you come to Austin. Do you immediately start working for your sister? Or, because your sister, Allie Kelly, who becomes Allie Davidson, she had won Gladiator, American Gladiator. And she then from that starts Camp Gladiator. Was it right away that you started with her, or did you I'm gonna do my own thing?
Yeah, sure. So she won American Gladiators in 2009. That was my freshman year. Her goal has always been to start a Christian sports camp.
Right. So she, even when she won that, her thought was, I'm gonna start a Christian sports camp. How can I do that?
Well, she actually, I'm telling Allie's story a little bit for her. She went to Camp Travis as well. She got saved there, probably 7th grade.
Right.
She walked out. She actually felt a calling walking out of the auditorium where she got saved. I'm going to start a Christian sports camp one day.
Wow.
She thought it was when she was going to be 55.
Right.
When she, you probably have to make money first to launch a camp. She ends up winning American Gladiators
on her wedding day, I think, right?
It was just after her wedding. We joke it's like her honeymoon. Is like the bit there.
Know that.
It's like the most hysterical
I think
thing.
Was the audition her wedding day?
She auditioned on her wedding day.
That's right.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Some story where her hair was sweaty or something, and they were making it work.
Yeah, no, it was gross for sure. No, the American Gladiators audition tryout was at a Gold's Gym or like a LA Fitness
or something.
2,000 people in line wrapped around the building.
Oh, wow.
We show up, the whole family. She has her wedding veil on, and we're like, okay, we got a wedding to get to. Can we cut? We really have to get to this wedding soon. So 2,000 people let us cut them.
Oh, that's huge.
She did 17 pull-ups because she's just a freak that, and beat the guys in the wind sprints. And she had a good story that she was trying out on her wedding day. So she was a shoe-in to be on the show.
Nice.
She looped Jeff in to be on the show, so he was on the show. He did really well as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was their American Gladiator story. They had 5 seconds of fame, it felt like.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, it's time to launch the kids camp. But the show didn't air until the end of the summer. And they're like, dang it, we missed our window. People don't know that we won.
Right.
So Camp Gladiator, the adult fitness boot camps, was a consolation prize. They're like, well, I guess what if we start a little fitness boot camp business to hold us over for the next 10 months until we get to next summer. And then we'll do kids camp next summer.
Right.
So CG from the get-go was always the consolation prize, which almost nobody knows.
Right.
But now you know.
Now we know. Okay, so then you come to Austin, what year?
Yeah. So I moved back 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you move back, and do you say, hey, Allie, give me a job, or what do you say?
Yeah. So I've always been involved with CG Victory since year one.
Oh, fun.
So
talking about CG Victory year one then. So she did start Camp Gladiator, but then she went straight to CG Victory that first summer.
Following summer, so probably 10 months of Camp Gladiator. She probably remembered about summer camp in April and hired this girl, Maria Bonifetti.
Yeah.
Who was the first director ever.
Oh, fun.
And I was recruited as one of the first counselors.
Oh,
I
nice.
got 8 Aggie friends to come be counselors, a couple Baylor Bears.
Yeah.
So that was the
where
first.
Where was the camp? Was that in Dallas then, or
Hill Country Bible Church?
No, it wasn't.
This is isn't Wells Branch a plant?
Yeah. We're a plant of Hill Country.
Hill Country.
There you go.
Amazing network.
Yeah.
So yeah, the original Hill Country location. That was our first ever. 70 kids, and then we called it I think we called it Camp Gladiator Kids in year 1. In year 2, we called it Kid Gladiator, year 2 and 3, and then finally CG Victory in year 4.
Nice. Okay, so then tell me the heartbeat behind CG Victory.
Yeah, so the mission is to share the joy of Christ by laughing, loving, and living adventurously.
Oh, fun.
And I feel like there's a little maybe misconception or misunderstanding. We're not like a hardcore sports camp.
Right. If let's say one of our kids was not into sports, would they be comfortable coming if they didn't know how to play basketball or football or something?
Totally. It's not sport or skill specific. We're not out there like training kids on basketball and soccer.
Right.
We're playing things like dodgeball and gator ball, which is like a fusion of soccer and handball.
Fun.
Where like any kid can really jump in and get it and like feel.
Hold on,
like
gator
encouraged.
Ball. That sounds a little bit like
chair sky ball.
Hey, probably.
So we probably got it from A&M. Is that where you line up like 6 folding chairs or something, and then you take a ball, dribble it down, and you chuck it at the chairs, and if you get one of them, they have to carry it back to the other side?
No, not at all. But that sounds awesome. It's like soccer, but if someone kicks it up to you and you catch it, it becomes handball.
Yep.
Kind of like ultimate frisbee.
So that is this game. Except you know what? So we had a youth pastor that came from A&M.
Yeah,
and he brought this game to our church. But maybe he added the chairs.
He might have added the chairs.
So the concept of soccer to handball is the same. But then the way you score is by knocking out a chair.
Cool.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it's funny that you say anyone can jump in, because I'm just here to say the amount of ACL surgeries at our church as a result
of chair sky ball. Way better at gator ball. That's why you guys did not. That's why you didn't morph.
There's something about a grown adult, especially that's over 40, shifting from handball to soccer and back.
We've had
fast.
so many ACL injuries. Okay, but that's not what this is, because this is far superior.
These are children.
Gator ball. This is gator ball, way different than chair sky ball.
The things about kids, man, they're so they feel unbreakable.
Resilient.
They don't. Little kids don't tear ACLs or break their ankles like adults do.
Right.
They're so flexible or something.
Yeah. Okay, so
fun.
fun games that are getting you to use your whole body.
Yeah.
The fun part is you're still using some of the American Gladiator names like Torch and I don't know, like Torpedo or
Yeah. So the counselors have like crazy goofy names.
Yeah, that's fun. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm Crash. The co-director has been Thunder all these years.
Nice.
Allie's name, she's changed it a few times, but I think it's Chaos now.
Yeah,
she has 4 kids. Hey, y'all have 4 kids.
Yeah, we do.
So
it is Chaos.
Y'all need gladiator names.
We do.
So
We do.
I want y'all to pray about that.
I will. We'll pray about it.
But we have stolen some of the concepts from the TV show American Gladiators.
That's fun.
That is fun.
Sideswipe and
Fun.
oh man, Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Is like another game from the show where we've done our version of it, which mainly has little hip flags.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
But any kid truly, like, you don't have to have like a superstar athlete to enjoy camp. And honestly, we do lots of like crazy chants and cheers.
Yeah.
And
talk to me about tell me how that builds motivation, teamwork, all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh man. So it's so cool to see. We're really into these chants and cheers. Maybe it's an A&M thing, because
totally
the guys are the cheerleaders there, but we get into it. But some of the kids are like a little bit unsure about it on the first day.
Right.
By the end of the first day or the second day, the cheers and the chants are their favorite part.
Right.
It's like they have to come together as a team and like get loud, proud, and rowdy for their team, and it's just something to get excited about.
It's like a mini Texas A&M. It's like prep to go to A&M.
Well, so we showed up. So Austin, our oldest son, went last summer, and the teams are like, it's red and blue, and I think red is Veritas and blue is Kalita, that's right. So I forget that I registered him for this camp, and you know how Google Calendar reminds you 10 minutes before? So
Amazing.
mid-morning, the Monday that camp started, I got a notification that camp had already started.
I haven't heard this story. This is good.
And I was like, oh, wow, that CG camp started. And
Austin
my
was
oldest
not
is
excited.
Really, he's not into, somehow we raised 4 introverts. I'm not really sure how, but they don't ever want to leave our house. They would just like to always stay there. And so
we're going to have a hard time
it
moving
doesn't
them
matter
out.
if we're going to a carnival. They don't want to come.
Six Flags.
They're like,
Interesting.
I'm not going to that. I'm not going to that camp. And I'm like, well, the day's halfway over. By the time we can get all your brothers in the car and take you there, it's fine. And so we get there.
Y'all were late that first day.
Oh, yeah. We were hours late, but they were still in chant time.
Yeah.
And I was looking at my clock, and I was like, they have to have been after this for like a while, because it was like, and the kids all knew the chants already. And I was like, this is the first day. And so I started asking some counselors, like, this is the first day, right? They're like, yeah. And everyone was super friendly, and they helped me find.
Yeah.
And Austin, like, his favorite color is red. So he was like, you can leave if I can just get on that red team. And I was like, so I told one of the guys, he was great. And they hooked him up, and he had
a great time.
He had a great time. And he is he is an athlete kid. Like, he does love all the organized sports. And so he loved that there was some of that, but he loved everything about it. Mm-hmm. He loved the cheer. He's not a cheers kind of kid, but he got into it, and he never would do the face paint. That was a bridge too far.
Yeah. Okay.
He also didn't do dress up for Halloween until about 4th grade.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
I was dressing up on his behalf.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, before he came out of the womb. Anyway, so it's just it was a great experience for somebody who kind of is hesitant, but he loved it, and I was super impressed with the counselors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where do you find all these counselors?
Yeah, A&M is a great spot. UT, we got love for UT too.
They're not evil.
I don't want the audience to think
like
I'm
we're
a
not
hater.
hating on UT.
Yeah.
We love UT.
We have a lot of great folks from UT. That actually might be our primary school now, because we're Austin based.
Yeah, hey, listen.
But yeah, Baylor, UT, the schools. We're on college campuses recruiting. Do these events.
And is CG Victory only here in Austin?
No. We got locations in Dallas.
Yeah.
So we do 1 week-long sessions in different areas, like different suburbs, whatever it may be in Dallas. And we got a Houston location.
Oh, nice.
And San Antonio as well.
Oh, wonderful.
So we got the major Texas markets.
That's awesome. So so tell me how the gospel is shared. How do you guys get, you got what's the transition point from like, we will destroy them on the field of battle to now everyone, it's time to bow and receive Jesus?
Yeah. No, good question. So we definitely have to cool off. Texas summers are hot.
Yeah.
So we're in the gym every day, like kind of hottest time of day.
Right.
Where the sun's right above you. Get them fed. And we do like a short little talk, like 10 to 13 minutes probably, where a counselor's sharing their story, or we have these like themes we build around that can go like spiritual or like personal, just like life, like perseverance, trust, and like spirit, like being spirited for your team. We even like connect that, even like we make a bridge somehow to the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So, we're like kind of building each day, like breaking down maybe aspects of the gospel, like who is Jesus on day 4, trusting, and like total gospel presentation, where we'll even bring in an awesome pastor, local pastor, such as yourself.
Man, that would be awesome. Like awesome pastors like that.
Because we had one with like a little energy.
Yeah, you need someone with a little more energy, I think.
Yeah. Has Adrienne actually talked to you about coming and?
Yeah, I would love to come. I am totally pumped for it. So
yeah,
I'm all in. So
he is all in.
He's
even got Chris has entered into his first year after 10 years of being a father to boys. He has finally entered into the world of dad coaching.
I know it's bad because I knew this would happen to me.
And he loses his voice after just about every game.
So I'm still recovering my voice, and so it does affect Sundays that I get so into the games. It's because my voice is gone.
But he does have a following. There's a 5th grade parent and child following that will come. Chris Pleck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Man.
I do have a little bit of influence on my basketball and football teams.
Cool.
And I do get a little passionate at the games.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
A little competitive edge comes out. It's not pretty. In fact, I feel like I need to repent almost weekly over
my favorite part is he starts out the season with sending an email telling them he's a pastor and that he's going to be praying for their kids. And then the first game, he's like yelling at the ref.
No, I don't yell at the ref. No. I do challenge the children to run on the court. Mm-hmm. We do not walk on a basketball court. We run.
Okay.
And so just simple things like motivational.
And sometimes we sometimes ask the ref questions.
Yeah, I do ask the ref questions.
I do loudly.
Sometimes loudly because I want to make sure we got the rules straight. I want to make sure that we know the rules.
Knowing the rules is always how the questions are being phrased.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I know the rules because sometimes the rules change, and I have to help out the ref and clarifying what the rule is of when exactly it is you can steal the ball from the other team.
Right.
Because in a recent game, they did change it from the volleyball line to the half court line back to the volleyball line. So I did go into the middle of the court to explain to everybody the rules.
The middle of the court during the game.
Yeah,
you're that dad.
I did pause the game for everybody. I said pause, and I told everybody fresh pause. This isn't a timeout because I was out of timeouts, but this was a pause.
No.
And so I said, we just need to do a quick rules explanation.
That's rich. That's good. Oh man,
it's something is what it is. And there was a football game in the fall that I don't know what went wrong, but it was so intense. Not only was Chris loudly asking questions to the ref, but so was the other coach. And the game went on for like an hour and a half. There's supposed to be like 50-minute games. It was like they weren't ending it. And the longer it went not being ended, the more angry our parents were getting because we were barely winning. And that was scary. Anyway, it was the most. It was
like an hour and a half game. I didn't realize it was like almost 9 o'clock by the time that game ended, because I was just so into the game. And
so were the refs, and we kept the moms on the sideline. We were like, "Hey, how much longer are we?" And they kept saying they said 10 more minutes for like 40 minutes.
Right.
And I think what was happening is they wanted the number of possessions to be even.
Equal, right?
It wasn't
because it was such a tight game, and it was so wild. And, we should have sold tickets.
It was super intense. But,
anyway, the point is I get a little bit intense.
So he would love to come to camp is what we're saying.
Yes. And I'll tie back to that. The cool thing about bringing a pastor out to camp is like ultimately like it is cool if we can plug these kids or these families into a local church that's nearby. Yeah. Because it's obviously about taking the next step in your faith, whatever they may be may be for you. Right. And some of these families like aren't plugged into a local church. Right. Or some of these families are coming and we don't hide that we're like faith based. But we're not church camp,
right?
If that makes sense. So like it will draw people who are there for the sports or the cheers or the chants or the friends, whatever it may be. But if we can get you plugged in, we think that's just like a win-win-win.
So great, man. Well, I'm so excited to partner with you, and I'm hoping we can make this like a yearly thing where we get a bunch of our people to go and participate. So
we're excited. So one of our missions in their summers with our Great Adventure is what we call it. We for a while, forever, we've done backyard Bible clubs, and this year we're doing one big backyard Bible club, but we're going away from that a bit and channeling our families to CG Victory for the purpose of giving parents an option to, like, granted you're paying for it, but you guys are hooking us up with a really sweet deal.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to like to take advantage of that deal and allow parents to then have a whole week. The hours are like 9 to 3.
8 to 3, right?
8:30 to 3.
8:30 to 3.
So it's a long day. So for parents that are trying to get work done in the summer, this is a great week where if you're already planning on some kind of childcare, opt out of that other childcare for this week and come join CG Victory. Or if you just need a week where you're going to have extra time, this is a great opportunity for parents
to invite friends. Right.
Yes. So we're getting to like Backyard Bible Club was tricky in that way because we would often be competing with camps that kids were at that were offering that were kind of a childcare for their for the kids, and so this solves that problem while also giving us a chance to invite our friends to something where that is gospel heavy, where they get to like connect, hear the gospel, and connect. And I'm planning to come and kind of be around during at least a couple of the days. And then if Chris gets to be there speaking, it gives us a huge opportunity with our families to have a presence there, create some community with some of the kids that are coming, that are a part of our church.
And Adrienne's kind of like a mom magnet. Everybody thinks Adrienne's hysterical. I don't know if you knew that. But like they love you. Oh, they absolutely do. It's pretty funny.
I think you're funny.
Well, thanks.
She's really funny. All right, so what's the ages? Like, I think that's one of the things that like.
Yeah, the ages. So talk to us because there's a lot of. So you know how public school, like you have to be 5 by September 1st. So I don't think you guys operate that way. So talk to us.
Yeah, what
about
is
that.
your?
Yeah, good question. So we used to be a half-day camp, a little history, and we were for 3rd through 8th graders. We since made it full-day camp.
Nice.
To make it more doable for parents because. parents have a hard time picking up their kids in the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah.
So we're a full day camp, 8:30 to 3,
Yep.
and it's for ages 6 to 12.
Nice.
So we're pretty tight on that. Like
Yes.
if you're 6 by, I think camp is, we're talking about camps in mid-July.
July, August, or
Mid-July.
June, July, yes,
So if
yes.
you're 6 by mid-July to 12.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. 3 boys there.
That's yeah, we do. We signed up 3 of ours. The baby's gonna really have a hard time. He might have to just tag along with me for a little bit.
Yeah.
The babies are great. I like to tell people or like address some concerns. Like we know it's like blistering hot
Yeah.
in the afternoon in
Right.
in Austin. So we have indoor access.
Because you're at the quarries. Is that
We're
where we're
at the
doing
quarries. Beautiful location.
it again? It's at Hyde Park.
It's a Hyde Park school meets there.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's Hyde Park Baptist High
Yes,
School.
Hyde Park Baptist High School. It's a great campus right near the Domain.
Yeah.
Really close to our church, which is really convenient.
Yeah.
And so when I went on the campus, I was like, man, this is awesome. I mean, you got like was it AstroTurf Field or no?
Yeah.
It's like a sweet AstroTurf field. You got a sweet gym. Everything is really first class as far as equipment,
Facility,
environment,
yeah.
facilities. And then I loved how just professional and fun. It was professional, but mainly fun, the staff and team was.
Well, and you guys had great ratios too. Like the number of kids per counselor seemed manageable enough, which I liked that a lot. And Austin just really, our oldest son is, he was definitely saved before last summer, and so coming into it, he was enjoying, I think, some of the opportunity to have deeper
Right.
spiritual discussion. Like, and he would share, he would come home and tell me how some of the kids, you know, the peers that he was with weren't necessarily engaging in deeper spiritual discussion, but the counselor was.
Yeah.
And the counselor was sharing some of his own story. And that was like, Austin kind of came home. I was telling Joey this when I first talked to him about
Yeah.
the potential to partner with them, is for us as a pastor family,
Yeah.
it is tough to feel like your kids are kind of inundated with this Christian message that's from you guys and from the church. And as a parent, I'm always desiring to like help offload our kids to a place where they can feel some independence, but also have respect for other Christians.
Right.
And so this was the first time that really, maybe second time, there's a family camp we get to go to in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. I would say that happens there. That's been an answer to prayer. And I think this was an answer to prayer
for
of
sure.
like, there's something separate from our church that is as passionate about Jesus dying for them as we are. And it was a young guy that was fun and cool and had some weird name. And it was like this whole spiritual thing really, he was excited even more to own that as something he wants. And that was a huge answer to prayer for us.
So the big question everyone wants to know, how much? Like, Joey, you drain our banks over here. What's the story and what's our discount?
Yeah. We gotta can't leave without the discount.
Yeah, you gotta have a
right?
discount. So what's this gonna run somebody, and talks about that, and we'd love to. It's like this is where like supporting our church getting there is huge. But like, thank you for that. So what is the cost to the average camper?
Yeah. So the full price of camp is even still competitive at $325 for the full week, full
from
day,
8:30 to 3 every day.
Yeah. But right now in February the price is $300, but it gets even better.
Dun, dun,
if I can be a cheesy commercial.
Please be cheesy.
But with code WB50,
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
additional $50 off.
What?
And I'll make it WB75 when the tiered pricing goes up
Nice.
in March.
Nice.
Okay.
So it's like always going to be $250
Nice.
Okay,
for
perfect.
Wells Branch Community Church or
Wow.
anyone listening to this podcast.
Yeah, wow, that's a big deal, man. Thank you so much, Joey.
So $250, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
And for other I've had a few mom friends that have never done summer camps before, kind of be like, oh man, isn't that a lot of money? It is a lot of money. $250 is a lot of money, but for a camp that lasts from 8:30 to 3:30, it's not. It's
A steal.
It's a super great deal. And for to sign up multiple siblings, I believe when you get subsequent siblings, there's a little bit off too.
Right.
And so that is helpful. So it's a great deal. And if you even compare it to the camps that the public schools offer, a lot of those are like $300 for like an art camp. So this is way better than art camp, I'm here to say.
Yeah, I don't want to
Hey,
tear
we're not
down.
disparaging art camp. If you're an aspiring artist, go draw something.
Totally. I don't want to like tear down anyone or anything.
Yeah, right.
But like we're like 1,000 times more high energy than YMCA camp.
Right, yeah.
Whatever
There you
wove
go.
those
Yeah.
camps
There you
are.
go.
Or I Got Love, I'm sure
Absolutely.
they're great.
Yeah.
But these college students are super hyped,
Yes.
super fun,
Yes.
again, for all like ability levels, people who are new to sports, people who are like star athletes.
Yep.
Like, it's actually kind of cool to see those kids come together and team up for like a game of dodgeball, which anyone can kind of like jump in and kind of figure out.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So for everybody with as a part of our church, give the coupon code, the WB50 coupon code. I have been sending out to all of my friends, to like sports teams friends.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Show notes.
That's how you know you're a professional podcaster right there.
So cool. You felt so cool saying that.
I totally did. Go ahead.
So anyway, we are wanting to like invite friends, and I kind of have an opportunity to have community with each other, but also reach out to friends, and we're excited about it. I'm excited to see what could happen. This is obviously a first time, and I think that it could take a summer or two before we have a culture of getting to participate, but I would love to see what it could look like long term with even having some of our moms that are volunteers in our children's and youth ministry to kind of come be a part of making camp really great. Yeah. So we're pumped about it, and my kids are super excited. They all got to be a part. The last day, there's this last day battle where like the parents are invited to come see the battle between the red and the blue. Yeah.
There's like grand finale obstacle course, which we're gonna invite parents out to.
That's so good.
And a grand finale spirit battle where it's like 4 to 5 minutes of like organized
chanting,
cheers, chants, formation changes, like music, exactly like a step clap routine. It's like it's awesome. It's out of this world.
Yeah. We left and the boys thought it was just the coolest thing ever. So thanks for coming, sharing with us.
Yeah, anything else you want to add before we roll out?
Let's see. I guess I should plug. There's 2 weeks at the Corys, which I know is convenient for our audience.
Yep. Yes.
I think we're rallying around week 1 at the Corys. Man, I should have the dates off the top of my head.
I have the dates.
This is important. Matter. This is very important.
I think it's like dates 2nd and 3rd.
We'll put them in the show notes.
Man, can I say that once? Also, my email is joey@cgvictory.org. We'll put it in the show notes if you want to email me. I don't know why my voice had to be deeper.
So we're week 20. Yeah, deeper helps.
Oh, absolutely.
You can pull this. Okay, 22 through 26 of July is the week. I'm not sure if that's which number that is on the website, but it's the 22nd to the 26th is when we hope to have Chris come out, and it's when we've signed up our boys, and there's some friends. There's at least 4 families in the church that have already registered kids, and so we'll continue to register.
This is a global show, so do you know where Dallas, San Antonio? We have people listening in from Germany and the Netherlands, South Africa.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's wild.
No locations in Europe yet. But yeah, we are in Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. So let your folks know, let your friends know. We're in those areas as well.
Yeah.
And just the website is cgvictory.org. Quick plug, we have an overnight camp for high school students. So that's for the 12-year-olds can actually go either way. Ooh. Or some do the day camp and the overnight camp as well. So that's for 12 to 17-year-olds.
Is that during that same week, or is that a different, like the overnight camp's a specific week?
Yeah, the day camp, there's so much branding going on here. Mm-hmm. There's Camp Gladiator, there's CG Victory. The day camps are called Ignite.
Oh, nice.
Which is such an awesome church word.
It is so like awesome.
Every church has had a program called Ignite.
1990 just comes back and it's right here. But you know what? Our men's retreat this year is going to be called Ignite. And
of course it is.
And because it's like we're having people that weren't around in the 90s.
If you were unsaved in the 90s, Ignite is cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like,
after months
I've heard that
of ridicule.
Yeah, sorry. It's just that Ignite is our men's retreat thing. We've been making fun of it for months now.
I knew your church would have something called Ignite. There's like 5 cool words that work for these programs. And then our overnight camp, this is different though. It's called Legends.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, men's retreat Legends next year. Way better.
Okay. Yeah. Just take what we have. I like it. No, there's nothing new under the sun in ministry. But so that's the first week of the summer, June 1st through the 6th.
Yeah.
Is the overnight camp for older middle school, high school students.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, hey, Joey, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for sharing your testimony. Thanks for just really being a part of something so special. Tell your sister we said what's up. And we're excited about really helping a lot of our kids get excited about sharing their faith by just simply inviting their friends to a CG Victory camp. So, hey, listen, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, if you want us to bring Joey back, I need your questions. 737-231-0605. You can text us or just go to pastorplek.com, drop a line right there. We'd love to bring Joey back and make him answer some questions, and I'm sure he'd be thrilled to come back at some point. So, hey, listen, thanks for watching. From our house to yours, have an awesome week of worship.